Yeah, and just pulling in your subscriptions is the biggest thing. That's what I like, because genuinely a lot of the people that I like watching won't show up in my feed because they don't make videos that are algorithm friendly, that have the opportunity to like explode. Like a good example of that would be your Brodies of the world, like Brodie Robertson. Sometimes has he makes a ton of videos, but a lot of his videos are just so niche that no one's gonna watch them. Hell, I won't even watch them. A lot of times I'll just be like, "Yeah, that's a neat idea, Brodie," and then usually I'll just skim the video a little bit. And I'm like, "Okay, I get the gist of it. That's cool," and I'll go on to the next. Or um, there's another one called The Build Show. It's a local home builder here, and he builds homes for a living, and he goes through like how to properly insulate an attic. And I watched a video from him the other day, and I was like, oh, that's so interesting, because attics here, aren't insulated. So you have this whole space that has critters that can get up there. You have all this other stuff, and how to properly like do it with like maybe some closed cell on the outside on the going up the peak, instead of doing soffits with like an airflow and a vent in the attic. There's just so many better ways to build homes that we don't do today. And not very many people want to watch that video, but damn it, it's so interesting to me. So there's those little things in there where I like to kind of just stuff to stimulate the mind, but in a good way. Yeah. Yeah, if Brodie could improve his sound, I agree with it. The thing he does, he has a Shure SM7B, but the gain's cranked way high. So he's got this much to work with, and then he takes a compressor and just and then just jams it. I bet his ratio's sitting at like a 5 or a 6. And with the excessive gain on his mic and that high compressor, it makes his voice just really kind of makes you uncomfortable. It almost feels unnatural. A lot of people do that, mind you, and I'm not the best audio technician, trust me. But every single month I try and listen back to my recordings. I'm like, how can I make this sound better? I want it to be like you sit down and just like, yeah, I like the way that voice sounds. It just rolls, it just tickles the eardrums. you know? Uh, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, very, very lucky. And God, Michael Hathaway, shout out to him. He's not in chat today, but yeah, that's the audio engineer that helped me, and he kept going, "Oh, you bought the wrong thing, man. You should have bought what I told you to buy." And I'm like, "All right, let me buy that." And it's really great. There's still so much more I can do with the audio. There's some stuff that he's like, "You should buy this," and I'm like, "That's a little bit too much money for me." But I do know in the future, if I want to improve my audio more, I need to step it up and move to that, and it just helps so much. Yeah. And I appreciate the harassment because it's nice. So I think Brodie will eventually get there. There's just so much that goes into creating stuff that people don't think about when it comes to the way it sounds, the way it looks, all those things. And I'm no expert. I know enough.